And we're live. Hello, Luca. How are you today?
Hello, I'm doing very well. How are you, Mina?
I am so good. Hello, everyone. We're back with another very exciting LinkedIn Live. We have a lot of fun things today that we have to talk about.
We do indeed. We do indeed.
Yes, and it's like a bit of what we're working on, a bit of what we will work on the future, the vision of everything that we want. So it's a lot of fun things that we have lined up for today's LinkedIn Live.
Indeed, indeed. So, Mina, what are we doing here?
We are here, so this is an informal way.
Usually, it is our monthly way
Yes.
of talking a bit more about what's happening
Exactly.
over on this side. Now, this is, as you were saying, particularly interesting for us today because we are preparing for a big week next week. We're going to Dreamforce. We're going to San Francisco, and we bring with us a few announcements, a few new things, and this is a preview of what we're going to talk about next week. So thank you for being with us. Thank you for watching. And should we jump right on?
Yes. What do you want to talk about first, though?
Okay.
We have a list of things, guys, that we want to talk about.
Well, there's a bit of a story there. Let me see. Share screen.
Okay.
I will choose the screen. So wait. So the story goes. The first thing, and as I share, look, what's happening. Huh? As I share, the first thing that we will do as we land, there we go, in San Francisco, we will ground our presence there with some more trust, some more compliance.
Yeah.
And to talk about it, Mina, the person who actually drove the whole process of this fantastic audit. So what is it? What is it?
So I think we started our compliance journey about a year ago, where we decided how important compliance was. We started with being ISO 27001 certified. We followed that standard, developed a whole compliance infrastructure, like its controls, policies, everything. So it's something that we've been working on for a year. And after we were done with the certification, we thought, let's take another step in that direction. And SOC 2 Type 2 audit was a very I think it was very important step for us, because
also very obvious, because if ISO, it's an international standards organization, it's a little bit more relevant here in Europe. We seem to see more European companies asking or referring to ISO as the ideal framework that they would expect us to adhere to. Whereas in the US, we've seen a lot more requests for SOC 2 compliance, right? So that's what we worked on.
And SOC 2 is a bit different than ISO. ISO is a standard that you have to follow. You have to develop controls based on that standard. SOC 2 is similar, but the audit periods are longer. The auditor goes in and checks every little detail for a time period that you choose to work on. So it's a bit different in that sense. But yeah, it's a big step for us.
I was impressed by the 92 pages report. So as a matter of fact, you feel free to request it of us. We are providing, obviously, the full report. We just ask an NDA to be in place, but that will be available with all the results. This is just an overview, the one that we pull up here. Now, we land in San Francisco next week. We ground our presence with compliance. And then what do we talk about? We talk about a new channel through which we help our clients capture, let me put this full screen. We help our clients capture more conversation, right? So next week, we will be previewing the launch of a very exciting Vinton Scribe. It's on the screen, it's full screen. Let's take a look at it while we talk about it, right? So let's see if we can play this quick video that we prepared. So the idea here is you are in a call, in a conversation via video that is happening through your device in Meet, Zoom, or Teams. And by virtue of having Vinton Scribe, you can activate it, and without actually the awkward sometimes presence of a note taker in the call, you will be able to get the full conversation in real time, like it's showing on this example. And as the conversation progresses, the information is all captured, as you would expect with Vinton, the full transcript, and therefore the full conversation is captured. And then what happens is, and I'll stop for a second here, we can actually go into the, do I have it? This is not the one. Oh no! Oh wait, where is it? It went away.
Oh, that's okay. We get the idea. So let's talk through why we felt the need of having this another channel in.
Yes. Well, actually, I wanted to grab people's attention to the top right corner of the screen, where you can see now we're on a mission here to help people make work more meaningful by focusing on value work, right? And what we do behind the scene, we help them and follow them everywhere they have a conversation. So in this example, a conversation happened without a meeting note taker feeling a bit awkward in the mix. So on my device, I didn't record anything, but I got the full conversation transcribed. And now I can use that information to create additional knowledge across my organization.
So it's like notes.
Correct,
right?
correct.
As it's not a recording.
As if,
yes.
And that's why it's called
Scribe.
You get it. Yeah. Now, you can see the different channels here, right? So we're very proud of having multiple ways with which, and quite a unique array of ways in which conversations are captured and brought in Vinton, and therefore in Salesforce. Video calls, phone calls. Actually, we have, there's a soft launch next week of a couple, but now we don't count anymore. The phone solutions are rolling in. That we integrate with. In-person meetings, we'll have a lot, of course, next week. So it's going to be very much used. Scribe is the one that we just showed, and then a voice note. If all else fails,
drop a voice note into
drop a voice note.
Yes,
so you grab your safe. So that's grounded with trust and compliance. Yeah. New channels. Let's go to the next screen. Hopefully it's going to work. Yes. Now with all these conversations, again, you can see a screenshot here. We'll get the demo rolling next week, but this is a preview. What you see, and you probably already caught it, is a very interesting, working title is Meta Summary, which again, without too much, fantasy, gives away. What is it? What is a meta summary?
So the reason why we designed this feature is because a lot of time customers came back to us and said, you know what, I have an opportunity. I have 5 calls linked to an opportunity, and each call has a separate summary. But I, as a manager, or I, as someone who's talking to an opportunity, don't want to go to each individual call. So what Meta Summary would do is it would give you a 1-line summary of that call.
Well, 10 line summary
for each call. Right?
Okay. So it groups them together. It aggregates them.
So you can see that the first line would be to the latest call, and from latest to the and if you click on see more, you can see all of the calls. So it is basically, so you do not, we're saving your time. You have an opportunity. Now imagine that you had talked with you, even if you just look at the summary, you would know what you have had talked to, especially. So it's good for managers, where managers can go in and see an overall progress of the opportunity.
So help me understand, how does it work? So I have 5 conversations already in, with a contact or inside an account. Actually, multiple people may have multiple conversations across a number of contacts that all refer back to the same account.
Yes.
So the account has a history.
Yes.
So the meta summary will automatically update after every interaction.
So after every interaction, the summary would be updated with the latest interaction on top, and then you would have all of the interactions below it. So the idea is to have at a glance, you would know what is happening. This is what I talked about last week. And then you can see a little link over here which says call with the lead or demo call. That would basically, when you click on it, it would open the whole call. So maybe you come in and you're like, okay, yes, our proposal was submitted, but there was something else that I want to look at. So you click on this and you see the whole call, as opposed to scrolling through and finding it. So we are trying to make your life easier to understand what you talked about, what you want to see, how you would want to And it's different in the sense that it would be different for the way we would design it, is that again, if you're in an opportunity, you would want to see something else. If you're in a case, you would want to see something else. So the way we would design it is that the prompt, as we call it, would be different for each type of.
It's somehow context aware then, because
Exactly.
it is,
Correct.
you know, when I go to an account, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm as a manager or as a user, I'm interested in what's the health status of
Correct.
this overall account. Whereas in opportunity, I'm probably a bit more focused on, is it going to close when
Correct.
it's, you know,
and
supposed
then
to
there's
close?
like certain types of frameworks that you have in opportunities, let's say, and you want the list to be in those frameworks. And again, the way you see cases, because usually support uses cases in opportunities, sales, so these are two different clouds, right?
That's also, you're right. You know, thinking about cases, a classic that we hear when we talk to our clients about cases is the use of Vinton in the context of handing off or escalating a case. So this applies probably across the board. You know, a new person assigned on the project needs to be up to speed. This is rather than going through individual codes, disaggregates.
So it's just not a summary; it's a smart summary based on the type of object that you're on, right? So it could be an opportunity, it could be an account, it could be a case, it could be a custom.
So the story is that
object,
because we have all these channels that automatically will capture and bring the information where it matters in context in Salesforce. You have no excuses. And then we have the meta summary. Then you know we basically keep Salesforce automatically updated, like on autopilot, right?
Yes. So it's just like a report of everything you've talked about with the opportunities. So
but if there is something that is actually not in the summary because it's a detail, but it's really relevant for me, I can see a little thing at the bottom right corner here that says ask Vinton. So I can then, maybe obvious to all of us using ChatGPT every day. So I can go in and ask questions and it will be related to the whole history of the record.
Yes. Also, I think we're moving in a world where search is being replaced by smart search, which is more like AI driven search as opposed to just the standard search.
So you ask questions rather than enter keywords.
So that's the direction that we're going into as well, because that's how people are used to interacting with a software or an application, right? So this is also something that we are working on at the moment, and I think it's just so good to go into an opportunity or a case or an account, for instance, and just see what has happened. And if I have any questions or if I have any doubts about a call, I can just ask about it.
So now a bit of a provoking question, maybe, because we interact with a lot with our fantastic clients. Thank you, clients, for business. And they would ask at this stage, a bit like Agentforce, or isn't this something that Agentforce should do? And the answer is yes and yes, as in this is all additional information, because we are the only ones that are actually writing Salesforce data every time we produce something like this, every time we update it, every time we, it's all happening as Salesforce data in the context of the CRM. It's not happening in a different database, somewhere else, completely decontextualized. That will ultimately help and guide Agentforce to find the right information, the latest information, have access, a more immediate access, a faster, better, more qualified and more contextualized access to the data that you will use to do bigger, better things, which is effectively what we're delegating to Agentforce.
And it's all searchable data within Salesforce, right? So it's just the way that we design our solution is that we design it within Salesforce. All of the textual data that we have is always
like one step closer to Agentforce, but still below it, because then, if this is a meta summary, then Agentforce is the hyper summary or something.
Exactly. So Agentforce would probably have a summary across opportunities, right? So we deal with calls. So we have summary, meta summary for a call. Then Agentforce would probably have summaries across opportunities. Now we know all the exciting things that are coming up this year in Dreamforce. So we would have a better idea of which direction we're going with Agentforce.
We'll see next week. Exactly. Yeah. And now we have, just to recap, I like, to for us to be on this journey together. So, come with me back to the beginning where we landed on compliance and trust. Yes. We added a new channel with Scribe So, kind of don't necessarily invite a presence, an odd, creepy, sometimes presence in your call, but do it, kind of easy, local. And then, that adds more conversations. And then we use these conversations, we aggregate them, and we can then extract insights, right? So at this stage is intelligence, right? And then what do we do? Well, we'll prepare to come back home, Europe, although we're in the UK, but it's a bit.
But Europe is home because you're from Italy, so.
What am I? Can you hear the accent? No, but and the flag there is something that we recently achieved, and we believe will go a long way with our European clients, which is the end-to-end data residency across all of the different steps that Vinton takes to deliver that intelligence back into Salesforce, right? So what are the phases? First, we record.
First, we record a call, right? Or an in-person meeting, or a Skype, or a voice note. So all of those things, this is the first step.
And then we grab that file and we push it somewhere. Where is that?
To a transcription service, and then we.
I don't know. Well, first I think it goes into AWS.
Oh yeah, so it's recording and infrastructure. AWS is where we record. Then we sort of process the file in a way that it's an ingestible format for different services that we then pass
the
on
encoding
to.
and right.
And
where is that happening?
All of that stuff.
In Europe.
In Europe.
Where is it exactly? It's Germany somewhere,
it's
right? Frankfurt. So Frankfurt. So our German friends will be happy. It's very close to home for them. So our infrastructure, it's regionally built, and it's been like that for some time.
Yeah.
Right. Now, from there we take the processed audio or video. Actually, in this case, it's only the audio.
It's just audio.
We push it into a transcription service.
Correct.
Transcription service. Up until, and this is part of the new thing, up until say yesterday, transcription services that we used were predominantly US based, or they're US companies, and they were processing to extract the information from an audio in form of text, speech to text, in the US. Whereas as of yesterday, we actually localized through our AWS infrastructure and our partners, right?
Yes.
The transcript services, and we offer AWS transcribe localized, and deepground localized in Europe, right?
Correct.
Perfect. And state of the art transcript. We're actually looking at other, obviously Whisper from OpenAI, Azure provides a transcribe as well. So all of those are pluggable, but the ones that we are, kind of out of the box, click and use are now in Europe for our European clients, and that's great news. Now the transcript comes back or pushes back some text into our infrastructure, which we now pair with a number of prompts that are all built in Salesforce, in our admin panel in Salesforce, and we push them out to an LLM, right? OpenAI or Gemini are the solutions that we offer. Now, up until, again, yesterday, those would travel back to the US to be processed.
Because there's an endpoint for both of them over there, so it's not localized for EU. But
to honor the flag, there is still, kind of on the screen. We've now built a local infrastructure based on Azure as the server, the localized server, and through the Azure infrastructure, we actually run a local OpenAI version of the LLM, which is the one that is processing prompts paired with a transcript and pushing back insights, which ultimately travel all the way into Salesforce, and they find their spot like we saw earlier, and they will contribute to the meta summary and everything else, right? So this actually completes the end-to-end. It's actually for audio notes, it's for in-person meetings, it's for Scribe, it's for video calls, and for phone calls as well.
Yes, everything. So we've spent a lot of time and effort in this direction, whereas we try to find solutions which are EU localized. We have a lot of customers who are in the EU, so it's very important for us that their data remains in the EU, and we needed to find a solution. So if you're in the US, you have everything in the US. If you're in the EU, you have everything in the EU, because it's also EU has a lot of laws coming in, which is asking users that if you're using AI, it could be OpenAI or Gemini or anything else. You need the data to be in the EU.
That
right?
data residency is a big theme, because the more data travels across border, the more different jurisdiction apply, different types of agreements need to be made with the users that are ultimately helping shape that type of data and all of that. So I'm super excited. So just to recap the journey, this one that's a desktop in the middle there. Very proud and very thankful, actually, to the team that worked on it, that we have a new trophy to our compliance cabinet, which is SOC 2, adding to our ISO, GDPR, and Salesforce security compliance awards. This is amazing. With that, we launch and we constantly look for new ways, easier ways to capture conversations across a wide spectrum of the ones that are happening out there at our clients' businesses. Then we take those conversations, we can turn them into intelligence, not only individually, but as an aggregate.
Correct.
With meta summary. And then ultimately we can do all of that localized with data residency end to end in Europe, in the US. We're actually working, just so that what our on Canada as a region, or I should say as a country, but in our way of thinking is a regionalized solution for our infrastructure, and the same for Australia. Actually, we already have a few clients that use our localized solution in Australia as a data residency compliant. But the big news is about Europe right now. Okay, now I'm going back here. I will stop sharing. And we're on back. Big face, big face. Sorry, I got kind of taken aback from my face. We're almost at time. So we have a comment actually. Hey Josh, thank you for attending. Just for the struggle with contextualizing data without significant setup. Yes, that setup we are going through it with some of our clients. We know that very well, and you're right. But there are some amazing use cases, and we're so excited for next week. We think there will be big things on stage. There's kind of a feeling in the air. And you're saying, Josh, would be interested in to see how this could assist with that set. Oh, you're thinking it's so using the meta summary. I think that's what you're to feed directly rather than having Agentforce doing the contextualization. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, and we touched on it a bit. That's exactly where we see the complementarity with what we do, and a much bigger, better AI that Salesforce is busy on. We feed constantly data, and we help Agentforce get better and deliver better results ultimately. I think we're almost at time. I'm thinking, things that we discussed and things that are really relevant for our clients. They keep us busy, and as you probably have seen here, we feel that out there you have a lot of choice. There's a lot of AI note taker, and they're doing a great job. We pretty much all use the same. We record, we summarize, we create insights.
I just think we're like we have passed the AI note taker, but now we're not just an AI note taker. We're your Salesforce assistant, right?
Well, exactly. It's more like what you do with the data.
Exactly.
Where is the data?
Exactly. So,
how do you handle it? How do you extract more information, not just from the data in isolation, but in aggregating the context, and that's where I think our clients are seeing the most value, and they're asking us to double down our efforts towards more Salesforce, deeper Salesforce integration. I think we had a session actually on events, very, very used, very much in use with our clients, and very much useful also to Agentforce actually for its contextualization. So our efforts in pushing more data, cleaner data into the events and creating events and tasks.
Structured data, right? So it's not just clean data, it's structured. So when you look at, if you install a package, and if you look at the way it's in Salesforce, it is structured in a way that it's not just us pushing data into Salesforce, it's pushing data into Salesforce in a way that will make sense for you to use in Agentforce, right? If you want to just use summary, you can just use that. So it's structured in a way that I don't think you would find it anywhere else. So that's really important when you're using or developing prompts for Agentforce. Like you can use flows, and when you're developing an internal agent, like an employee agent and stuff like that.
I think that's exactly where in most of our latest conversations are all, as you said, beyond the AI note taking. They're all focused on. We see a lot of our new clients coming with an experience of using Otter or Fireflies or Fathom, and they say, wow, that's great, right? So we know exactly what we can get in terms of efficiency, but now what we find ourselves is hoping and dreaming that all of that data would be written in Salesforce in the context of wherever we're working, whatever process we have there. And that's where I think they look at us to help them do that. Which is a great place to be. And we thank you for all your questions, your attention so far. Are we?
And I think we're on time.
Yes, we started a minute late though. So
sorry about that, guys.
Should we stay 1 minute more? Just to make it 30, round it to 30. Well, looking forward to seeing all of you, hopefully, in it's not that you are that many, but we love you nonetheless, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Stay tuned. We will have another session like this in a month, and with some more interesting,
fun stuff.
Cool things. Probably coming out of and having digested Dreamforce updates, making them our own, and likely we'll talk about Dreamforce again, but for now it's all anticipation, it's all excitement, it's all pre-flight.
Maybe next time we do a bit of like what happened in Dreamforce, or what was exciting for you, and how it fits into
and what did we do about it.
Yes, right?
Exactly. Typically we come back and say, okay, now let's get to work, because there's a lot to do to follow in the slipstream of the massive train, super fast, that is Salesforce. Guys, thank you again. Thank you, Mina.
Thank you, Luca.
Thank you for SOC 2, still on my screen, and for everything else that you do for us and for our clients. And lots of love. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'll end the stream. End stream. Yes. Ciao.